Good morning. I'm going to do some clarity because of the video that I did yesterday. And I just, for the first time, normally I don't listen to them. I'm more or less doing them and then just sending them out there in raw. It was a video in response to the uncertainty, the misunderstanding, the cry out for essentially what's going on in the world, but it was prompted by the whole Israeli-Palestine conflict. And so, because of that, I was kind of moved to do some kind of a video. So that way, I know sometimes my net is very, very broad, casted out. I understand that, but I also know that in the past, sometimes people understand it that wouldn't otherwise have that kind of understanding, I guess, is how you want to say it. I'll crystallize it if I can. Okay, I started off by talking about the conflict, and if anybody wanted an understanding what's going on, all they have to do is look on a historical basis. And not necessarily of Israel, but of the Temple Mount. You look at the situation where that temple is set now, and you will totally understand what's at the heart of all this conflict. And though there's been a country set up, the heart of it is still missing. I'll say it that way. Look it up, Temple Mount. And as far as it's a human thing, okay? You can put all the religion, you can put all the ideology in it that you want on either side, but it's still a human thing, you know? When we're talking about the tragedy that had happened, okay, it was a human thing. The fact is that you got a population of people that were governed by a fringe group that turned around and went across the border and did a slaughter, did a major, thing in vengeance. And in retaliation for historical stuff, So to have that as your governing body is wrong. That's a human thing. You don't need to put a religious spin on it at all. Okay, we struggle with it all the time in a democracy to make sure that you don't have a dictatorship or a strictly military-driven entity governing you, or that kind of ideology. So it comes down to a human thing, and we're learning slowly but surely. Humans are learning. It becomes a situation where we still are kind of in our infancy. And those that really aren't in tune, that aren't, I won't say as savvy, but in the loop, that are just trying to live every day and do their best or whatever, become scared. And I crystallized that down because of the cat situation, the kitty situation that I was involved in. And for some reason it came to mind. How scared, and you've seen them before, an animal, if you've never seen, there's videos on YouTube of little baby animals on a freeway that will just, if your heart doesn't cry out, just watching 10 seconds of it, 15 seconds of it, then you need to recheck yourself. Because the reality of fear slams right up into the forefront, And so yeah. And we've got a body of people that have this all around the world. This isn't just the U.S., but all around the world. Because, once again, they're just humans. They're just trying to live their day and doing whatever, and it doesn't matter what corner of the world. The fact that we in America are more in tune with what's going on around the world is actually sometimes more of a curse, because it's sensory overload. There's people in other countries that don't ever hear of what's going on in their neighboring country, let alone on the other side of the planet. Okay? So, that fear, that uncertainty that comes popping up in people when they start seeing what's going on around the world can take hold and paralyze you, much like a kitten on a freeway. Okay? But if your world is such that is going on anyway, depending on, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't have to be the news of the world. It could be just the situation in your life, situation, what's going on around you. If you run into that situation, it's okay to cry. It's okay to question. It's very okay to question. It's also okay to regroup and to familiarize yourself with a stability, even though it may not coincide, even though it may not work in harmony with the world around you. that you need to take a break, and this is what you're going to be doing for a moment to gather your senses. That is your way of understanding yourself. You can't understand the world if you don't understand yourself. You're going to struggle. Okay? Knowing your boundaries, knowing your limitations, knowing what the world expects of you, and knowing that some of those expectations are worldly or societal driven, that they don't apply to you. So all these things kind of can sit out there on a table. If you've all of a sudden come into fear because of the sensory overload of media and everything else around you, by all means, step back for your own peace of mind. And I will say this again. There is a comfort in knowing that there's a higher authority. And though you may not understand that higher authority, it watches over you. Okay? Knowing that will help you. Just knowing it that way, in that framework, will help you. May refocus you. Okay? And who or how you come about to find clarity in that will benefit you. There. That's kind of what I wanted to say. I just know a lot of people, when they start, I've known a lot of people as well that have succumbed to disparity, to that fear, to that, and it's not a weakness. You can't take on the world. There's a lot of people that their eyes are so wide open that they don't know how to sleep. Okay, we'll say it that way. So it's not a weakness per se. To be strong within your inner self is the most important thing that you can ever learn. There's a lot of people that never reach that at all. Just like there's a lot of people that strive for heights of fame and fortune, and it's okay just to be a parent. You know, that is your fame and fortune. You know how many people cannot have kids? It's just like saying, if you're, there's always other people that have it worse type situation. Okay, it's that same kind of concept. I'm rambling on, I know. But in order to get that peace of mind within yourself, to understand who your God is, who God is watching over you, to have that kind of clarity. And that clarity starts within yourself. Like what I said yesterday in conclusion. I learned a long while ago, that mine was Jesus. And it wasn't. It was there. I'm not going to go into it, but there is, after much investigation, much deliberation, meaning I took myself aside and listened to those different points of view all the way around, and listened to logic all the way around. But it's up to you to find that peace of mind. And you can do it. You can do it. And if you need to reach out and all that, that's fine. And if you need to meow, that's fine. Okay? Don't ever think that you're just a kitten on a freeway. Okay? You're stronger than that. You are loved more than that. And I wish you nothing but love. Nothing but love. There. There's my little talk for the day as the sun rises here in the northwest. Good morning. Have a good weekend.